In talking about the body of Christ, we want to talk a little bit about kind of mutual discipleship and what it looks like to have mutual discipleship within the church. And I spent a lot of time getting to talk to church leaders and have interviews and conversations. And there's a few core barriers that I seem to come across often that I thought would be really helpful to talk about when we consider the inclusion of those with intellectual disabilities in our church context. And we are part of a very logo-centric church culture. And by that, I mean we rely a lot on speaking and writing to communicate our faith, which oftentimes isn't the most helpful way to communicate the faith to someone with an intellectual disability. And so I'm going to talk a little bit practically about the different modes of communication that we've adopted as a church. And there's also this sometimes unspoken, it's kind of like under the surface barrier of inclusion that is oftentimes when people think about including those with intellectual disabilities in the church, what they're imagining that they're going to do is build a bridge. And they want the people on this side to come over to their side and get closer to communicating and doing things the way you already do it. So ideas like wanting someone with minimal verbal communication to be able to, in some way, verbally communicate their faith. And for me, I feel like because oftentimes our approach is trying to do that, we miss out on the richness of being part of the body of Christ. I think there's a real a shift that needs to happen within the church where those with intellectual disabilities that come through our doors, that we want them to stop being recipients and become equal parts of what's happening within the church. And I think that's the primary thing we're talking about in being part of the body of Christ.
Let's see people as God sees them. Join the journey at www.throughtheroof.org.